Hello out there. This is Bill Thornton, SoCalSabre, and today I'm going to be talking to you about part of my board game collection. I recently talked about my sports board games, and today I think was going to talk about some of my top solo war board games. The war games I'm really interested in. I have quite a few of them, and the designers nowadays do such a great job. They put so much history into the games, and they do so much great work in development that I really enjoy them. And when I'm playing a war game, usually if there's a book that I know of that is associated with that war, that part of history, I go ahead and read it. And because not only enriches my knowledge, but it also makes the game very much more thematic. So before I start, I'm going to do my top five. And before I do the top five, I'm going to give you a couple honorable mentions here. And let me say that I have a lot of other games too that I just couldn't talk. I'd be out talking to you guys for hours and hours about all the war games. I had to cut it down somehow this time. Maybe next time it'll change. But here's the honorable mention: Raiders of the Deep. They give you, make you the commander of a German U-boat during World War One. It's very thematic. You get the actual name of a commander that you're playing, and then you go out there and you do a career. Sink as much tonnage as you can. Make the decisions that you have to, and see if you can make a career that was better than the guy that you were actually playing for. It's a pretty nice game. Not a lot of decisions in it, but normally when the decisions have to be made, I make the wrong ones. So, but it's a fun game, and so check it out. And just by Gregory M. Smith, he has some other ones that are out too that I have, but I haven't been on the table yet. So maybe they'll be on my list the next time. Then we're going to go to Liberty or Death. This is a coin game published by GMT. Coin stands for counterinsurgency. This one is in the Revolutionary War. It can actually be played by 4 players, but you can play it solo, and they give you flow charts to follow that act as the AI in the game. They're a beautiful board, lots of nice stuff going on about the Revolutionary War, and I really enjoy this game. I have some other coin games in my collection that I like, but not as much as this one at this particular time. Things may change. So I have one about Vietnam, and I have one about the Cuban crisis, and I have one about the French down in Africa somewhere. I forget where it is right now. But anyway, we're going to go into do my top 5 for you. Before we do that, please go down there, hit that like button down there, hit the subscribe button, push this out in your social media, help the old man out here. I am not doing this to make money in it. I'm having fun, but I just want to get the word out to more people. Okay, here we go. Number 5, Cruel Necessity. I just recently finished playing this game. This covers the English Civil Wars from 1640, as you can see, to 1653. There was actually 3 different wars during that time period. It was a crazy time period in England. This game was so full of history, so full of flavor text of history. I enjoyed it so much. I learned so much I never even knew about. I guess my history was a little lacking in school, or I wasn't paying attention. But they had the Parliament and King Charles, and he was fighting against the Parliament, and they were actually went to war against each other. And then you had the Protestants and the Catholics fighting, and then you had the Irish fighting and the Scottish fighting, and everybody was fighting over there at that time for one thing or another. But it was kind of crazy, and the game takes all of that stuff into play too. So you got different scales for all of them. I found it a little heavy on the learning curve for me anyway, but I ran across a video that by Heavy Cardboard who was playing it and teaching it at the same time. Followed along. Once I got it, I had it down. I moved on, and I really enjoyed playing it on my own. So that's number 5, Cruel Necessity. Okay, number 4. Sorry, the picture's so far away. This is Cheerio. This is a game designed by Joel Toppin and published by GMT Games. This covers I guess the rise and fall, you could say, of the Comanche Empire from 1700 to 1785. A lot of fun and a lot in there, and it's a wonder the Comanches lasted that long because, they're out there at the beginning, they're trying to find food, and then they're fighting against these other Indian tribes who are trying to either kill them or steal their food, steal their people, use them as slaves. And then up out of the Southwest came the Spanish and the Mexicans to fight against the Comanches. Then eventually the cavalry and the railroads came from the east. And it was just a matter of time before that great empire no longer existed. Great game. I have another one by Joel Toppin called Navajo Wars, but I haven't got it on the table yet. And I hope that if it's nearly as good as this one, I will enjoy it thoroughly. Okay, moving on. Fleet Commander Nimitz from DVG. This is a great game. Covers 1942 to 1945, the entire war in the Pacific, from aircraft to aircraft carriers and destroyers and transports and land fighting troops and battles on all the different islands, Guadalcanal and Midway and everything. Pretty counter heavy, but I really liked it. They just recently released an upgrade kit for this game, a new board, new cards, and some new battle sheets for all of the different islands. I did purchase it, and I have it unboxed and put it in here, but I haven't got it on the table yet, and I am hoping to do that soon. So that's number 3, Fleet Commander Nimitz. Number 2, Target for the Day. I can't believe how much fun I have with this game. This is so thematic. I choose to fly B-17s out of England during World War II. And every day we'd go out and we would get our missions and we would get our mission briefs and go out and fly our missions and try to fight off the German fighters as they were coming in, make our bomb drums. We didn't know if we were on target or off target. Sometimes our crew members got wounded. I had to create all the names of the crew members, and that was a lot of fun too. And then, people got promoted if they did well, and then they got injured. I might have to replace them. They might have to go on R&R. And unfortunately, some of us got killed. I did get killed myself too. So, but I had a lot of fun with this. It was so thematic. One warning, though, if you don't like charts, you might want to stay away from this one because this is very chart heavy. It's not chart heavy to the fact that it really disturbs the flow of the game, but there's just a lot of charts. But I really enjoyed it. And that was Target for today. Lastly, my favorite one at this point in time is D-Day at Tarawa. As you can see the outline of the beach that our Marines had to try to get onto from way out, and there were so many mistakes made. They misjudged the tides. The landing crafts got stuck on the reefs. The guys had to walk in hundreds of yards, in water up to their necks sometimes, getting fired at by machine guns and crossfired. And what is this? In 72 hours, the Marines lost 1,695 guys. That's just crazy when you think about it. Think about Guadalcanal. That was 6 months, and they lost 1,600. But these guys lost it in 72 hours. But their fortitude, their will to fight for our country and everything, and to fight for each other, they eventually did win. I think there was 5,000 fortified Japanese on that island, and it was finally taken by our guys. And so that is my current top 5 solo. I say current because it'll probably change. I'll let you know it changes, but I won't do this one again for 6 months to a year, and so that it'll be fresh. So, like I said, do me a favor, go down there and hit that like button, and then until you see me again, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and in these days of COVID, please stay safe.